Hello everyone, let's welcome to this demo. In this demo, I'm going to show you the database upgrade. There is another demo which shows you the database upgrade using DBUA utility. When you are using DBUA, all the tasks are automated. But in this demo, I'm going to show you the manual upgrade of database. So my source database is 11.2.04 version. I'm going to upgrade this database to the latest release, 12C release 1. Okay, so these steps will give you a detailed explanation on detailed procedure how you can upgrade your database from 11G release to version to a 12C release version. Okay, so if you find the MOS ID, you will find the other versions which can be upgraded to 12C version. Let me just give you an introduction of what the source database is that you can upgrade to 12C release 1. So 10.2.05 is the version that we can upgrade to 12C, 11.1.07, 11.2.02 or higher. So these are the base source versions from which you can upgrade your database to 12C release 1 version. Okay, now let me show you my source database, and I'm not going in detail about the theory involved in the upgrade, but my main concern is to show you the detailed procedure to upgrade a database. Okay, now let me show you my source database. Okay, so my source database is ORCL. I'm connecting to a database. Okay, this is 11G release 2 patched version 4. I do not have any PSS upgrade as of now, but this is the source database that I have. Let me also show you the listener status. So listener is status listener. Okay, so my listener is also up underneath. Now my source database is fine. Okay, now before proceeding with any database update, you need to make sure that you have proper backup for your source database. So I just leave it to you to take whatever approach you have in your environment to take a complete database backup. Okay, now after completing the backup, we need to run the db upgrade diag script. Okay, so that script you can find it in the metalink note id. So let me give you that metalink id. So this is the id 556610.1. so this MOS ID gives you the script dbupg-diag.sql. So you can download the script and run in your environment. So I have already downloaded that script. I have a temporary directory created. So you also need to create a temporary directory where you can store all your temporary files. So I have created a directory upgrade, and this is the file already downloaded. Now I'm going to run this script to check the integrity of my source database. Okay, now let me complete this script. This is the directory location where you want the log file to be created. As I have already created a temporary location, I'm going to keep all my log files into the same location. Okay, the script is completed and it created a spool file. So I can either review the spool file, or I have all the output here, and I can just go through the output that is generated from the execution of the db upgrade dag.sql. Okay, so as my environment, in my environment, this is a test database, and I do not see any abnormalities in after running this script. So everything is fine. But if you see anything that you need to correct here in this before proceeding with the database upgrade. Okay, so the main things that I want to highlight here is time zone is 14. So in 12C release 1 version, we have the latest time zone 18. So as a part of this demonstration, I am not upgrading any time zone version, but if you want, there is a metalink ID I'm going to give you the Metalink ID, so that will help you to upgrade your time zone as well. But if you are using DBUA utility, there is an option that you can automatically upgrade your time zone as well. Okay, so that is one thing, and there is one more thing. Okay, so here it is, the counting duplicate objects. So here, if you find the duplicate objects other than these four, you need to make sure that there are no other duplicate objects other than these four, and moreover these four objects are available in season system, so that's fine. So as per the document, we can just ignore these duplicate objects, so all other things are fine. I do not even have any invalid objects in my environment. But suppose if you have any invalid objects in your environment, you have to run utl rp to resolve your invalid objects. Okay, so after completing this script, okay, so there is one more utility that you need to run. The MOS ID for that particular utility is, let me give you the utility so that you will understand. So this is the MOS ID 884522.1. So this ID gives you the pre-upgrade utility which you need to run to understand the any abnormalities before proceeding with the upgrade. Okay, so this script, after executing it, will produce two other scripts. One is the pre-upgrade fix subscript and post-upgrade fix subscript. So you need to review those two scripts and you need to run before proceeding with your upgrade procedure. Okay, so this is the Metalink ID which gives you the pre-upgrade script. But if you have already installed your 12c release 1 home, you can also copy those two files from the 12c release 1 Oracle home. Okay, so I have already downloaded that file and I kept it here. Okay, this is the zip file which will give me the pre-upgrade utility from MOS. Okay, now before executing this script, okay, as it takes some time, let me also start the installation of the 12c release 1 binaries. So when the 12c release 1 binaries are installing, we can prepare our source environment for the upgrade. So there are many other tasks that we need to do on the source database. Okay, so just to save the time, I'm just uh, starting the 12c release 1 binaries installation. I'm just doing the OS only the software only installation, and then I will use that software to upgrade my existing database. Okay, so let me start that. Okay, so this is the VNC session where I have my environment set. So let me see if I already have my environment set. Okay, so I have my Oracle database ID set and Oracle home set. So I want to unset my Oracle home. I'm just keeping the Oracle base as it is because Oracle base is required for me from 11G release 2 onwards. So Oracle made it mandatory to have a Oracle base environment variable. So all other environment variables will be picked up based on the Oracle base value that you set in your environment. So Oracle base is mandatory whenever you are installing any Oracle technology software. Okay, now let me see where I have my software. So this is the place where I have my software. So db, so this is the place where I have my software. Now let me start. Let it launch the run installer. Okay, the run installer is launched. Okay, so I do not want to receive any updates, so I'm just unchecking it. Okay, so I'm okay to proceed. Yes. So skip software update. Suppose if you have any PSUs or passets you want to apply along with the software update, so you can specify, but I'm not using anything, so I'm just skipping the software update. Okay, here I have got the three options: create and configure database, install database software only, and upgrade an existing database. Okay, now I'm choosing install database software only because the purpose of this demo is to show you all manual steps. So I'm just using the installed software, and I'm doing all manual steps to upgrade my database. But if you choose the upgrade an existing database, it will give you option to select your database and it will complete your database upgrade as well. But I'm choosing software only install because I want to show you all manual steps. So mine is a single instance database, so all my binaries for single instance database will be installed. So language is English. I'm going to use enterprise edition. Here it is. So I set Oracle base in my environment, so based on the Oracle base value, it picked up the software location where it needs to put the RDBMS binaries. That's fine. Now I'm going further. Okay, so I'm just choosing DBA for all my installations, but if you want, you can also choose the O install for your database administrator group is that's fine. So if you want to use, you can also choose your O install. Okay, so that's up to you because I have both groups available in my environment. So, but there is a specific purpose to have the O install and DBA group. O install is for all your Oracle technology installations. So the user who is installing the software should be part of this particular group, and Ora inventory is owned by the user who is part of O install group. Now let me proceed further. So here it is doing some prerequisite checks whether my environment meets the prerequisite checks or not. So everything met fine except the swap size. So Oracle still says that the swap space size should be equal to RAM or double the RAM, but we can just ignore this prerequisites. It's just a warning, not an error. So I'm just ignoring, but there is a lot of history on swaps size. I'm not going to explain it here, but let's proceed and ignoring the swap size warning. So it says, do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue because that is just a warning. So here it says the summary of what it is going to install, and I'm pressing install. So now the installation of the 12 release 1 binaries started. So it may take some time for installing the binaries. So meanwhile, when the database binaries are installed, so let me go back to my source environment where I have to prepare my source database for the database upgrade. Okay, so I was telling you that the pre-upgrade utility gives you some scripts, and those scripts you will also get when you install the 12 release 1 binaries. So let me extract this. So you got these two scripts. Okay, so these two scripts are the latest ones if you pick up from the MOS ID. Okay, so let me execute. So try to observe the output very closely. So I just told you that it is going to prepare two other scripts. So it just finished running the script. Okay, so it created two scripts. One is pre-upgrade fix subscript and post-upgrade fix subscript. So you need to review these two scripts. So one is the pre-upgrade fix subscript. So it gives you the set of instructions that you need to carry before proceeding with your upgrade. So I'm going to review so what it suggests me to do before proceeding with the upgrade. Okay, so let me review this file. Okay, so that's fine. Fix up report. Okay, it says that there are some dependencies on LDAP, so I need to run before proceeding with that one. So another recommendation is that it says that em present, so I also need to run that script. So it says that I need to run the gather statistics also, but as my environment is a test environment, I'm not proceeding with the gather statistics. But if you are working on a live environment, you need to make sure that you have up-to-date statistics for your dictionary. Okay, so other than that, I do not have any other suggestions. So let me copy this one. Okay, so instead of just copying it, I can directly run this. Okay, I'm going to run the fixer, but try to understand that these scripts are not created in the temporary directory that we have created, but this is created in a directory that you need to identify here. So if I run this particular script, it is going to fix all my prereq fix-ups. But in my environment, I just have some 4 fix-up. But if your environment is something different and if you have more fix-up, it will complete all those fix-up. But before running this script, you have to understand and you have to review the script, what it is doing internally. Okay, now I'm done with my fix-up script. Now what I'm going to do is, there are many other things that I'm going to do with my source database so that my source database is ready for upgrading to towards release 1. Okay, now I need to find out what are the deprecated connect roles. Okay, so I'm going to present you a syntax or the SQL command which gives me the list of users who has got the connect role. Okay, so when your database is upgrading, when you're upgrading your database from 9.2 version or 10G release 1 version, you need to make sure that whoever is having the create session, they need to give any other privilege if they are already given. So to find out the list of users who are having the privileges or the connect role, this is the SQL script which gives you the list of the other privileges that are available with the connect role. Okay, so here I have only the create session because my database is 11G release to patch set 4, so that is the reason I have only create session. But in 9.2 and 10G release 1 versions, you have many other privileges given to connect role. So you need to find out those roles, and you have to manually give those roles to user before proceeding with the upgrade. Okay, so if you have any dependencies on network utility packages, you need to find out those dependencies. Okay, so all these gives you a set of instructions to proceed with. So just to find if there are any dependencies that you need to take care, while you're upgrading your database. Because this script, it is actually uh, uh, if it lists anything after post update, I'm going to explain something on these DBA dependencies. But now, so it says that there are 11 rows returned for the dependencies, but this script actually is for finding out the dependencies on network utility packages. Okay, so there is one more thing that you need to worry about: database links. Okay, if everything goes fine and if you have upgraded your database successfully, then you're fine on the database links are as well. But if something goes wrong and if you want to revert back or downgrade your database, you will not get your database links back. So there is a script to find out the database links definition, because these database links have the password in their definition. So the passwords are encrypted when you upgrade your database, and when you're downgrading your database back, so you will not get those passwords. So that is the reason you have to collect all your database links. But this will help you only if you're trying to downgrade your database. But if everything goes fine, that's fine. You do not need this data as well. Okay, so I do not have any database links in my environment. That's fine. Okay, now next thing is time zone. Okay, so in one of these scripts I ran above, it shows that my time zone is 14. Okay, so let me show you through a command. Okay, so this is a command I'm going to use. So this lists me the time zone version that I have, but the latest version 12 release one has got the time zone version 18. Okay, so that is a different metalink ID, and if you need the metalink ID, so you can just follow this metalink ID, the my Oracle support ID, that is 1509653.1. So this will give you the detailed steps to upgrade your time zone version. But in this demo, I'm not going to show you any time zone version update, because that will take you some time. So I'm just trying to minimize the time. So that is outside the scope of the present demo. Okay. Now, if you want to gather any statistics for your database, you need to start your statistics at this point of time. Okay. So the next verification check is that if you have any materialized views in your database, okay, you need to make sure that there are no materialized views that are being run to refresh their data from one environment to other environment. Okay, so let me verify if I have any materialized views. So I do not have any materialized views in my environment, but this particular SQL command gives you the list of the materialized views that are being refreshed while doing the upgrade. So I do not have anything now. Okay, now let me verify if I have any files that are in media recovery. So when I'm upgrading my database, I need to make sure that none of my database files are in recovery mode. So no files are in recovery mode. That's fine. So let me see, these are all possibilities I'm telling. So sometimes you are doing upgrade and some other DBA might be doing something else. So I need to make sure that no data file is in recovery mode. So this is the command which gives me if any DBA has put my data files in backup mode. So this should return no rows, because even if I have any data file in the backup mode, I should not continue with the database upgrade. Okay. Now if you know the concept of distributed transactions, you understand this command. If there are any distributed transactions that are running, and if you want to know before proceeding with the upgrade, this is the syntax, and this is the SQL command that gives you the list of commands that are there in distributed transactions. Right now I do not have any, but for the people who want the queries, I'm just trying to provide the other queries which gives you the list of transactions for them to uh, execute. Okay, so these are the scripts that they can execute, and they can just try to say command. Okay, so this is just for the information purpose, these three commands. But because if this particular command returns any rows for me, I need to execute these three commands to make sure that I do not have any distributed transactions running in my environment. Fine. Now the next step is, okay, so next step is, so if you have recycle bin enabled in your environment, you need to run purge recycle bin. Okay, so you need to make sure that there are no objects available in your recycling, because sometimes it may, the upgrade time depends on the objects available in the recycle bin. So you need to make sure that you do not have any objects in the recycle bin. Okay, so the next step is to work with if you have, I'm assuming that you do not have any standby setup for this database, so I'm not showing you any comments that involves for the standby setup. Okay, so if for anyone who is referring this demo, and if you have any standby database in your environment, you need to make sure that the log synchronization, the online redo log synchronization is fine at this point of time. Okay, so after that, the next step is to disable if there are any cron jobs or the batch jobs available in your environment, because during the time that you are upgrading your database, make sure that any automated tasks or jobs that are scheduled on this environment are disabled. Okay, fine. So after that, there's one more check. So make sure that you do not have any uh, objects in sys system tablespace, and make sure that your database is having only sys system as default table spaces. And if you do not have sys system as default table spaces for users, then make sure that you use a command alter user sys default tablespace system. So for sys and system user, make sure that you have only system tablespace as the default tablespace in your environment. Okay, so it is not a mandatory, but make sure that we are just trying to avoid all possible errors when you are doing your upgrade. Okay, so the next step is to work on the auditing. Okay, if you have auditing enabled in your environment, the odd dollar table populates the data. Okay, so if you have auditing enabled, and you will have the lot of data populated in odd dollar. So here is the place where you need to make some suggestion or decision, where if you want the auditing data to be available in the upgraded database, you need to preserve this data and do the upgrade. But keep in mind that when you have the lot the odd table is very large in size, and the upgrade may take very long time. Sometimes there are situations where it may hang the database upgrade also. So to be on the safer side, and if you do not actually need all odd dollar information, you can purge your uh, auditing data before proceeding with the database upgrade. So this is up to you to make decision whether to keep or to delete the auditing data. Okay, so after that, there's one more command to check whether you have any externally authenticated SSL user. So this is the command which gives you the list of users who are externally authenticated. Okay, now just to have an information, you also need to collect the control file information. So just to have an information before proceeding with the upgrade, and also the data files information, and also we got the online video log files information. So these are the three locations you need to just keep it as a record purpose. Okay, now one more important thing before proceeding with the upgrade is to remove the database control. So there is a major change with respect to the enterprise manager control when we are upgrading to 12c release version. So 12c release 1 has got the Oracle Enterprise Manager Express. Okay, so it is now the Enterprise Manager database control is desupported. So we do not have the database control in 12c version, but we have only Enterprise Manager Express version, and that Express version comes by default. You just need to enable a port for your Express Manager. Okay, so if you have your environment and if you have a database control in your environment, you need to make sure that you delete the DB control before proceeding, because the time of upgrade also depends on the existence of the database control in your source environment. So I need to run a script which removes the database control, but I need to copy that particular script from the 12c home. Now let me see whether I have completed my 12c installation. So it is just waiting for running a script, root.sh script. So let me finish running that script, and then I can copy that particular script. Okay. So u01 a queen. Okay, now I can go back here and press OK. Now my database binaries installation is successful. Now as I told you, I need to copy one script. Let me show you the script. So Oracle home rdbms admin em remove.sql. So this is the script. So I'm going to copy this script from this location to the temporary location I already have. Okay, now I have the script available here. Now I'm going to run this particular script. Okay. So what it will do, it is going to remove the database control, because I'm getting a new database enterprise manager express. So I'm not going to use database control anymore in 12c version. So that's the reason I'm just removing database control in my source database. So the script is completed successfully. So it removed the database control that is available in my environment. Okay, now almost all prerequisites of preparing my database is completed. Now I need to start my upgrade, the actual upgrade. Okay, so for that I need to copy the sp file or p file, whatever I'm using. So let me see what I have. So I have p file available, and I'm going to copy this p file to my okay. So this is a p file. I'm going to copy this to the new home that is created. Okay, now let me see in the new location whether I have that file available. So I have that file created. That's fine. Okay, now after copying the file, if there are any deprecated parameters that are available in your environment, you need to make sure that you delete the deprecated parameters, but that task can be done after completing the upgrade also. So I'm not showing how to delete the deprecated parameter, because for using a DBA you should be aware how to delete or how to remove a parameter from your SP file. Okay, now try to stop the listener from the source environment. So there are two windows. So left window I'm going to use it for the source database, and the right window I'm going to use it for the new environment and the new database that is to be updated. Okay, so here I'm on the left window, which is a source database. So I'm going to stop the database. So database is running, stop listener. Okay, so my listener is stopped on the source database. Now here at this point of time I need to create a new listener. Okay, by invoking a utility netca from the target or 12c release 1 binaries. So here my environment is so netca is from 12c home. So now let me start netca. Okay, so using netca I'm just trying to create a new listener for my new environment. So the name is going to be listener TCP, and I'm going to use the same port which is there in the source environment. Would you like to configure another listener? No. Okay, so finish. So now it created a listener, and let me see if that listener is up and running. Okay, see here I have created a new listener, and that is started from 12c release 1 home. Okay, so this is how you are going to, but there's many other approaches that you can use to create a new listener. Okay, now shut down my database, source database. I'm going to shut down my source database. So database is down. Now let me come to the place where here is the place where I'm going to start my upgrade. So let me see if I have set my new environment. So I'm just keeping the Oracle unique name same, Oracle SID same, Oracle base same, but I'm going to change the path variable and also the Oracle home variable, so that it will take the new values when I'm upgrading my database. So let me complete export Oracle home equal to, okay, path equal to, So let me see auth variable now. So it's having new environment. Now let me see which SQL place. So it is taking from the policy home. Okay. Now here at this place I can start my database upgrade. So let me go to Oracle home rdbms admin. So let me see. Let me connect to database. Now here I'm going to start my database with the startup upgrade. So now database is started with upgrade. Now I'm just in the RDBMS admin home. From this place I'm going to run the actual upgrade script. Okay, so now here I'm going to run cat ctl.pl. So this is a new Perl script that is introduced in the 12c release 1 version. The advantage with this new script is that we can now run the upgrade process in the parallel. So for more information, just refer the MYS IDs. So you will get more information on the parallel execution of the database upgrade. So I'm not going very in-depth details of this particular script. So this is the command that I'm going to run. So 6 I'm specifying to make sure that my database will run with parallelism 6. Okay, so I'm going to run this script, and this script will upgrade my database actually. So after completing this so when running this script it may take some time, so I'll pause my video for some time till the completion of this video. So I'll resume my video after completing executing this particular script. So then we can verify what are the post scripts that we need to run and what are the post upgrade tasks that we need to perform. So the cat CTL upgrade script completed successfully. Now I'm going to show you the post upgrade verification steps. So before starting the post upgrade verification step, so there are a few more steps to complete for the upgrade to complete manually. Okay, so I'm in this directory. Now let me see if I have my home set or not. Okay, so Oracle SID and path. So my environment is set to the new upgraded database Oracle home, and now I'm into the present directory where I'm going to run some couple of scripts. Okay, now I'm going to run a script which utl u this one. Okay, so I'm going to run this script to see the upgrade status. Okay, now let me run this. So before running it, let me see if my database is up or not. So my database is not up right now, so let me start the database. So my database is open. Now let me run this script. to see the upgrade status. Okay, so it says that all the components are in valid status. Okay, that means the upgrade is successful. Now all the components are upgraded to 12.101 version. So there are no invalid components in my database. Okay, now the next script I'm going to run is this one. Okay, so it is going to give me the upgrade status. Okay, so that's it, the script is complete. Now if I want, I can review this particular log file to see the status of my complete upgrade, whether it is successful or failure, or there is anything that I need to worry. Okay, and then let me see if I have any invalid updates. So my database up, let me see first the status of my database, because this is a 12c database, and from 12c onwards the architecture of the database is changed. Now it is a multi-tenant architecture. So when you upgrade your database, by default it is not a multi-tenant enabled, so it is container database is no. So that means the multi-tenant architecture is not enabled, but if you want, you can convert this database to a multi-tenant database. Let me see through commands whether all the components are in valid or not. So all the components are in valid status. Okay, now let me see if I have any invalid objects. So if I have any invalid objects, I need to run a utlrp script. Okay, but usually you will get some invalids after upgrading your database, but in my case I do not have any invalid objects. Okay, so let me also see the time zone, because in the before starting the upgrade I showed you that my time zone is 14. Now after upgradation also my time zone is 14, and I did not choose to upgrade my time zone as a part of the upgrade. But if I want, I can follow my Oracle support ID to upgrade my time zone. The latest time zone available in 12c version is 18. Okay, and now as I told you, the Oracle Enterprise Manager Database Control is not available in 12c version. Okay, so you have an Enterprise Manager Express. Okay, so to access that express, it is a default installation that comes with 12c installation. You do not need to choose, you have the option to choose, but it's a default configuration available. So to know the port where it is running, this is the command I'm going to execute. Okay, so this command is going to give me the port that I can use to access the express control. Okay, so my port is set to 5500, but in some cases, if some people find that this port is empty and if it is returning null value, then you need to execute this particular command. I'm not executing this command, but just for the purpose of the command I'm going to show this command. So execute this command and execute again the select command, so that you will get the port number. So I'm not executing it because the port number is already set for me. Now the upgrade is fine, and we have verified all the post verification steps that the all the components in the database are upgraded to 12.101 version. Now the final verification step is to access the database enterprise manager express control and see if it is accessible or not. Okay, so from here I'm trying to access it. So that's it. I'm able to access my express control also. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching this demo. If you have any doubts, or if you have any suggestions, do let me know. Thank you very much.